What is up, Twitch feed? Let me finish sending out the announcements, the social medias, and get started. But if you're here, give me a holler. Let me know you're here. Say hello in the chat. I like it when people are there and talking to me. Makes these streams a lot better. Yep, see, just got that posted on that one, and I want to finish up. I'm not totally ignoring you. See, I've got the putting in a little bit of posting here and there. But hope everybody's doing all right today. So help. And so far, Kickstarter launched this morning about 10 o'clock, and we just passed 30% of our funding goal. So that's pretty freaking awesome, man. It's moving along, moving along. That makes me happy. The campaigns are a bit stressful. You know, there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes to get them ready to go. And Kickstarter's been a little finicky in the in their site these last couple weeks trying to build the campaign. The site's been a little glitchy and pictures didn't always load, and like today, one of the backers pointed out a tier I typically offer. I didn't do it this time, and he was asking about it. I was like, you know what, you're absolutely right. I totally made a boneheaded error and didn't do that. So I went and made the tier, added it, made up new graphics, replaced the graphics, and loaded them all up there, and they didn't go up. Like everything on the back end on the developmental side of the Kickstarter was there, showed it was there, but anytime I tried to preview it on the page, it didn't show up. And I got some friends to look, and they're like, "No, nothing's there, nothing's there." And so it was a little bit frustrating. And I was talking to some of my other peers that have been doing a lot with Kickstarter, and apparently it'd been pretty finicky today, as well as the rest of the time. So that's all right. It eventually went live though. Even I even posted an update, and that didn't go, and thought I lost it and rewrote it. Tried to post it again, and it failed again. And but eventually went. Eventually came online. So everything's good, and we're just chipping away campaign at the goal. You know, it's a modest goal. It'll pay for all the shipping and printing of the book and the actual merchandise I'm offering, I actually produced in the previous campaigns, and I'm working on just having those available right now. So, because not everybody got everything, so I'm hoping, people that got one thing last time might come and get something else this time, and it'll be good. Helps keeps my cost down, and it helps, I guess, fewer options, but still plenty of options, if that makes sense. So instead of always trying to focus on having to get the newest new, maybe you still get something from a previous campaign that you wanted, but you don't have to come back with whatever totally new merch I was offering. But yeah, I'm hoping uh I'm hoping some people will show up. Streaming on Twitch, talking to myself is not my favorite thing. It's a whole lot more fun when people are there and talking to me. I like being engaged. So, I guess in the meantime, I'll just keep working because, well, probably the best thing for me to do, especially when nobody's here. Kind of loud. Turn that down. With this is still pretty new with this scene, so I'm just gonna kind of try and take it easy. A little too ahead of myself. See, this is one thing, because I don't know that I technically want to have this scene. I'm doing a yellow sky. That's cool. But it doesn't have to be the same thing as it was in this last page, because you get time shifts and all that. Maybe their nighttime goes a little more green. He is still crazy old man in this one. I'm gonna these colors. It's interesting. see, in this instance, he's in the pretty extreme foreground. this character, and I just really love that idea of a laser unicorn. I thought it was just way too much fun to not do something with it. And then I was like, well, why can't she ride it? And that's how it all kind of fell into place. A little bit of trivia. So that's how Kung Fury influenced Savage Sasquanaut. So thank you, Kung Fury. See, and this should be sky right here. See, things get missed in the flats, and that's alright, it happens. What you don't want is to have a bunch of it. You know, little things like this, they're understandable, that happens. But too much of it can become problematic, and that's when you need to discuss the issue with your flatter or get a new flatter. Leo's really, really good. I think this is when Leo took over flatting. I think it's the other pages before this one, if I recall. And yeah, he's really good. You know, this was a hard book. That's why I wanted him to do it, because after a few pages, I don't want to do it anymore. And the overfunding of issue 1 on Kickstarter, you know, we gained a little bit extra money on that one. It actually let me hire Leo to do this one, to flat this book, just so I could get into this. Whew, this is a tough issue. It's already hard to color. I didn't want to spend any more time on it than I had to when it came to flatting.
This feeling in a plastic jar, bust it out whenever someone's acting hard. Settle down, barbecue in the backyard. The kids get,
I don't know, I think everybody does light colored horses and stuff like that, and I figured since we're gonna have this glowing horn, it looked pretty righteous with being dark tones.
Good times, and you can feel it in the fashion. Even though the heat cooks up the action, the streets still got butterflies, enough kids to catch them. Riding my bike around these lakes, man, feeling like I finally
figured out my
escape plan. Take it all in. The day started off all wrong, but somehow now that hangover is all gone. Ain't nothing like the sound of the leaves when the breeze penetrates these southside trees. Leaning up against one, watching the vibe, forgetting all about the stress, thanking God I'm alive. It's so simple, I had to keep the song simple. And when I get home, I'm gonna open all the windows, feeling alright. Stopped at a stop sign, a car pulled up, bumping Fresh Prince of Summertime. Summer sign, I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Sunshine, sunshine is fine. Feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it.
Hey, Wendy here from Science Versus. Our show takes on the messy world of news and internet fights to find out what's real, what's not, and what's somewhere in between. This season, we're diving deep into the coronavirus to find out what this virus does once it's inside us.
So it's kind of taking advantage of a self-defense mechanism this all has.
That's very rude.
Yeah, very rude.
We are all about science and the facts, but we bet we could still make you crack a smile. Who can we blame? Listen for free on Spotify or wherever you get your pods. Just search for
No, so our little horse here has a.
At LASIK Plus,
Hey, Lady Rogue, how are you doing?
Thousands of patients across the country in the past 25 years. As our nation begins to heal and reopen together,
Sorry I didn't see your post sooner.
LASIK Plus is reopening too. Call 844-265-2020 to schedule your free LASIK consultation.
When it's
Then,
quiet
for your
here, I just get a
patients, if you are
little
treated by the end of
zoned
June,
into
you'll
what I'm
receive
doing and kind of stop looking at the
$750
chat.
off Wavelight laser technology. Call 844-265-2020.
Must mention the station at the Vision Center to receive $750 off or $375 per ride. Cannot combine this with any other offers or discounts.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage.
Well, sorry to
Making
hear
the
that
right
you're not
financial
feeling good.
decisions has never been more
Hopefully
important.
you're
We
on the
turn to
mend
Rocket
though, and
Mortgage.
you get
We can
over
help
it
guide you to those
sooner
right
than
decisions
later.
now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need
Hello.
some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for.
I am
Today,
working on,
8338-ROCKET,
this is
or
a page from my creator-owned comic book, Savage Sasquanaut, and it is drawn by Gabe Santos, and I am coloring it. I actually launched the Kickstarter campaign today for issue 3, and I'm actually working on issue 4 right now here on the stream. You Studio, is that you, Tony? If I remember right? Well, how do I decide what color goes where? Well, right now, being that this is an alien world, I kind of get to just make it up as I go. It's kind of at my own discretion. So my characters are established. This is my main character. This guy here in the corner. That's the back of his head. That's Savage Sasquanaut, aka Bigfoot. And in this scene, he's actually become an old man, or an old Bigfoot. That's why he's all gray. This is the previous page here. It'd be so you can see he starts off as a young man. He goes through the different seasons. Time goes on. He gets older, and we eventually end on an old man stage. And this is the next page after that. So now that you see he's on a normal scene, but as he gets more older, he realizes he's on an alien world. Comics is my job. I am a freelance comic book colorist by trade and a creator, writer, letterer, and anything else I can do when I can on my own. And so with Alien World, just kind of figure it out. It's the previous page you see I already kind of established a yellow sky. Well, this time I figure I'm going to maintain that yellow for continuity. You see some of the yellow back there. I've already got a green. But no, you're right on time, man. We're here until I decide to stop. But since I didn't want to do straight start blasting yellow, I decided maybe it's kind of a sunrise or sunset. So what goes good with yellow, a good transition, is green. So that's how I did the sky, was go that greenish to yellow. Essence 74. Who's that? Is that maybe Chuck, or I'm not sure who you are. I like saying hi to people. I don't know everybody's name outside their handles, and sometimes I can't pronounce people's handles. But yes, that's Tony, my buddy Tony at U Studio Art. He is correct. I've done work for basically every major studio in the States. Bit of work overseas, and in the corner on the stream you can see just kind of a rolling feed of a few different pieces I've done over time. But how are you, Tony? Good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. Yes, I. So you're actually saying Rouge as opposed to Rogue. Gotcha. Oh yeah, you get the U in front of the G. Gotcha. See? Okay. You had to spell it out for me, but I'll get it eventually. Oh, that's good. Commissions is good work, buddy. I'm glad you got those. You'll have to send me some at some point. Let me see what you're working on. Yes, yes, it is. It's very much who you know. Fortunately, I lucked out because there's a publisher here in town, and while I was going to college for graphic arts, I emailed them, be like, hey, you guys got any job? I'm like, no, well, you can come work for free as an intern, which at that point that was fine. I had recently quit my other retail job I had, and I didn't really want to go do more retail, so I went and worked with them when I wasn't going to school, and then once I finished my associate's degree in school and I had no money to go get a bachelor's degree, I just went full time with it. Not as an intern, no. Once I was not an intern, I got paid. Not much, but I got paid. But yeah, the colors I've actually got a model sheet because I haven't actually colored the lady character since I did the model sheet. So I will actually have to pull that out. There it is. So that's going to be her outfit when I do her. And that's the original concept design by the artist. So these colors that are currently on her, these are just what we call flats. They're just basic shapes to separate everything. So I can go in and select specific areas to work on. The one on the side or the one on the page? The color palette. That was dumb of me. Ah, the concept art. Gotcha. Well, thank you. Yeah, I've got a I've got a I like purple. I'm going to, yeah, I'll be upfront. Like, I like the color purple. The stinking stupid part is the color purple is probably one of the most difficult colors to reproduce properly from a printer, because purple isn't a real color. It's actually a made up color in the spectrum. But so it's really hard to reproduce. But that's the color I like, and I give myself all kind of grief by trying to use it all the time. Well, not all the time, but frequently. It's a good mood color. Nice. See, and I'm really wanting to get into more traditional media. Like I've been doing more markers recently with like sketch cards and stuff, and that's been a lot of fun. You know, I've that's been a big learning experience, and I've enjoyed that. And I've been watching some videos of other people that can do them better than me, and it's like, dude, that's awesome. I want to do more of that. And I've actually got some watercolors, and I've wanted to try and start watercoloring recently. And I actually got a couple pieces here that I was gonna watercolor, but again, it was also drawn by another artist, and I was gonna paint them. But he inked them already, and we both got very concerned that the ink would run and ruin the pieces. So I decided not to do that. I've got an idea how to get around that. Uh, with like my printer and stuff like that. Of course, my printer died in the middle of all this, so I'll have to wait and try it at a later date. Yeah, the tablet is super nice. I am using what's called a Cintiq. It's a my monitor is my tablet. It's fancy. Yeah, like a fixative or something to keep the pins and the pencils and stuff from running. Yeah, yeah. That stuff's not too expensive. Last I bought it. It's been a while because it was heck. Last time I bought it was probably when I was in school, and that's close to 20 years ago. So, of course, that probably means it's twice as much as it was when I twice as much now as it was then. And I'm not sure if you were in earlier, but I call this the laser unicorn. So he's gonna have, or she, I don't know. We didn't. I never got into the gender on the horse, so I don't know what it is. But the horn at its head is gonna be kind of almost like a lightsaber. So that's gonna cast, this secondary red lighting here. I want to put more here. I actually originally did my lighting in another selection. These are just kind of temporary lighting, so I could figure it out in the first place, and then I will, and then I can go back later and choose my colors. So that's what I did here, and that's why you see me keep going back to these layers, because that's my base selections. Yeah, basically. Absolutely. And especially when it's going to be in an environment like this that's kind of unusual colors, not the natural blue sky, green grass, and whatnot. That's probably going to end up being a little more experimentation in the end, just because I may find out that the blue in this horse, this dark blue gray, may just be a really big eyesore, and I might have to shift it to another color. It's just going to be trial and error. Whatever works, works. Hopefully I won't have to shift it too much, though. Well, thank you for the follow, Lady Rouge. It's the first time it's ever made a noise.
For the ones we trust,
It startled
always
me.
be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard, standing
Just
on the
move
front
this
lines.
over
For
here.
the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
By staying home, you're doing your part to protect people from getting sick. By calling someone you love stuck indoors, you're putting a smile on their face, and they need it. By being brave, you're helping us all be brave. Thank you for your help.
It looks like he might have modified his. Oh, maybe that's colored.
UNICEFUSA.org/COVID-19. That's UNICEFUSA.org/COVID-19.
I don't know, to be quite honest. Sometimes lines don't get drawn. I think that needed to be like that. I think that's more. That might all change again once I see what version of the neck is drawn more. I might have to go do some art tweaks on it. Well, I would have got it wrong until you spelled it out for me, and then I actually read it close enough to see that it was Rouge and not Rogue. Her glove there. That would be yeah, I still like this concept. I still like this design. These characters were originally designed by another artist, V. Ken Marion. He is currently drawing Aquaman for DC. He originally designed these characters for the cover for this issue. And that was before, I think he actually drew it before Gabe became the series artist. And when I hired Gabe to actually draw the book, and he was working on the different concept arts, I did give him plenty of leeway to just kind of cut loose and have some fun and make the designs his own. And he was really faithful on all the characters, but this character particularly, he changed, and I really like his changes. Like, I think they're really cool. Kind of, they're a little less stereotypical comic girl, I guess. Oh. But yeah, I really like what he did here, and I've been looking forward to doing this issue. Looking forward and dreading this issue, because this is a hard issue. Which is also why I look forward to it. It's kind of sadistic, I know. Yeah, let's go ahead and call it that. ahead. You still there, Jeremy, or did you bail out and try and reset? I think that'll be pretty cool. I can probably carry that same theme down into like the tail, the wispy tail stuff. And when I get further along, what I'll end up doing is all the black line that's on these tails, I'll end up changing those to a blue color. I'm not gonna worry about it right now, just because that's gonna add layers, and I don't really want layers right now while I'm trying to figure everything else out. Just one more thing to slow the machine down, which it wouldn't slow it down too much, but I don't like lots of layers personally. It's distracting. I get lost in them. Like I put all my layers towards the end of the piece usually. Yeah, absolutely. This whole channel is about self-promotion. Well, right now, my lighting layer, like that's one layer, but I'm not coloring on it. Those are just flat, simple shapes. And right now I have a layer for the blue and the unicorn's fin, but that's gonna go away here in a couple minutes. Actually, I can go away right now. I don't need it any longer. So I try to keep pretty minimal, just because it'll add up real quick if you let it. It gets confusing. And I think if I go ahead and kind of just zing these a little bit, since I'll have this kind of laser horn going on here. Gives it a little bit more punch. Let's see, well, let me click on that here now. Will it go? I have to copy and paste. Will go. Can I not copy and paste? There it goes. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, that's freaking cool. Oh, that Two-Face is gnarly. I like it. You want to show you off a little bit? We can show you off. Let's see. What is... Boom. Nope, that's not right. Okay. This is Lady Rouge Noir. I like it. I was big into anime at during high school and in college, and so I drew a lot of the same kind of stuff too. And then when I was in comics, part of my job was doing conventions, and the company I with did a lot of anime inspired and manga-esque books, so I did a lot of anime conventions, and that was a lot of fun until it was exhausting. But no, I like this. Very cool. It reminds me of like Red Sonja. You got Demon Angel Conan and Red Sonja or something. I like it. But this Two-Face is pretty gnarly. I dig it. Good job. Good job. I'm gonna check over on the campaign right quick.
That long-awaited home edition. Now imagine
We're
an
still
edition on that edition.
sitting pretty. Okay.
That's the feeling with Capital One, where a new savings account earns an interest rate 5 times the national average. That's right, 5 times, as represented by 5 times more singers. This is banking reimagined. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Rate comparison based on FDIC national rate. Capital One NA member FDIC.
Yeah, absolutely.
The COVID-19 crisis is deeply affecting us all. Kids everywhere, no matter where they live.
I've got a buddy, David, who can.
And healthy, real food.
Yeah, he's an American artist, but when he does it, he can completely transform and disappear, and you would think it would be a Japanese artist that drew it. That dude's a chameleon. He's incredible at multiple different styles, and his anime work is what first turned me on. That was the first stuff I saw that he did, and I was just like, wow, man, that's really, really cool. And he kept impressing me, and then he kind of, hey, he did this style, he did that style, and he's ridiculously good. David Hutchison. He currently has a comic book he's putting out called Teether. It's a creepy horror slasher type comic. It's intense. He does. It's kind of a mix of them all. Like, I've known him so long and become so familiar with his artwork. Like, I can see, like, he draws faces, especially men's faces, a specific way that I just see it. I know it's David. Even when he goes into different art styles, his face is very much the same, if that makes sense. It's different, like, stylistically, but you can just see it. And so, like, he has his own style, but I wouldn't say it's just anime or just, heavily rendered. It's kind of an amalgam. It's really, honestly, I think it's up to his mood, to be honest with you. He's just whatever he feels like. He's really, really good at it, and he's a dude. We'll go out to eat. He always has a sketchbook, and we'll be at the table, ordering food, and he's drawing the whole time. That dude's never not drawing. People say, "Oh, you got to draw all the time." He's probably the only person I know that draws all the time. Yes, he can. Zach knows him too. Okay, what did I do for these globular things? Oh yeah, that's right. So these like globular, whatever these are, I did kind of a color transition in them. I think I'm just gonna keep that because I like it, and especially since I've already done it, I don't really have to think about it right now. Oh, Zach / Essence 74. He's an artist too. I haven't seen him post much recently though. What are you doing over there, buddy? You still watching on your PlayStation? Is that why it's so hard, so long to reply? That is pretty awesome though that you can do that. Last time Zach joined, he told me he was watching on his PlayStation, which I never really thought about doing. But then I realized, like, yeah, that makes total sense that you can do that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think it also helps because, you know, when he's drawing, he draws for a living, obviously, uh, and that doesn't always mean you get to draw what you want. You know, when you draw professionally, in fact, most of the time you don't get to draw what you want. So when we just sit down and just kind of hanging out, we get to he gets to do what he wants, and honestly, that's some of his coolest stuff, just in his sketchbook that nobody sees. That stuff gets pretty fire. Ooh, should we look at Zach's pinup? I think we should look at Zach's pinup because I like art. Ooh, I see a tiny thumbnail. Mm-hmm. Is that old Empress Dahlia? I like it. I like it. I'm gonna have to color this up for you. And for me, aren't I? I can do that. I can do that. Look at you tagging this thing. Nice. I don't think I've seen you sign a piece before. Nice, buddy. Thank you. I do like it. Maybe that'll be a future Twitch stream. I'm gonna get you on here and we color it. But I'm not gonna color right now. I believe that. I believe Teether was brainstormed from that. That makes absolute sense, actually. And he's got a laundry list of just cool names for projects. Like, I just remember there was always just a really cool name just sitting like, oh, here's a title. I'm like, man, that's a great title. What's that about? I don't know. Are you gonna do that? Maybe one day. But he's got some really cool stuff. He actually gave me one of the titles that he wasn't using at one point, and I eventually ended up not using it. It's actually what became the project I'm working on called Graveyard Orbit, and it used to be called Salvage, but there's another project that came out before that one that was called Salvagers, and it was a little too similar, and so we changed it. And I think the Graveyard Orbit works better because what it was in the initial concepts, it became something else, and it was a little more thriller, and horror kind of driven, and the Graveyard Orbit title worked a lot better for that genre than say Salvage does. Yeah, yeah. I think the last issue comes out here in a couple weeks. It's 4 or 5 issues long. Zach probably knows better. It's 4 or 5 issues long. Yeah, him and Zach are horror fiends. What's funny is my next book after Sasquanaut's actually kind of a horror thriller title, and that's not my bag. I'm not really big in the horror, but it really works really well for that story, and it kind of morphed into that. So I embrace, and hopefully it's a good. I think it'll be good, but hopefully other people will too. It may not be as hard punching as these horror fiends are used to, but it's a good exercise for me. To always stretch my wings, try different things. Finishing the last issue. That's good, man. David's somebody I'd like to do a project with. But like I said, he's got a lot of his own ideas, so it's not exactly always feasible just because he's going to do his thing too, which is good. Nice. D&D is a good way to learn storytelling. Another one of our good friends, Fred. Fred's a very, very prolific creator, and I've been with him many times when he's been asked, like, where do you get your story ideas? How did you become such a good storyteller? And his answer has always been being the dungeon master for his brother's D&D campaign. He was always the dungeon master because he made the best stories for his brother, for them all to play. And now he does that for a living. Albeit with his characters, and he puts them through the ringer. I can't say I've ever played much in the way of D&D. Not that I was ever against it. I just thought it was like back when I was a kid, comics and stuff wasn't cool, and it wasn't as prevalent as it is today. And playing D&D and Magic and all that was just one step too far. I couldn't go. I couldn't do it. And every time people would tell me about it, I was like, man, that sounds awesome. But I never embraced it. Probably to my detriment. See, that does sound like fun. That ended up being an exercise. Just when we were working in the office, I'd ask Fred questions about D&D. He's like, well, what if I did this, or could I do that? He's like, I guess you could. I don't know why you'd want to. I was like, just because you don't want me to. Well, he would ask me like, well, what character do you want to be? I was like, I don't know. Is there such a thing as a dwarf with gigantism? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I just want to be a 6 foot tall dwarf. He's like, why? Are there any? No. He's like, that's why I want to be that. That's awesome. See, I like that story. That's a great story. See, you were probably already cooler than I was in high school, so it shouldn't have been a problem for me. But that's a great story. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. That's freaking cool. See, I was trying to figure out what I want to do with this tree. I don't really want to go brown. That's awesome. See, I knew it just couldn't be me that wanted giant dwarfs. Oh, maybe I can go yellow with the tree, because I haven't... Yeah, I'll go yellow with the tree. And base it in orange. I don't know if you watch Community, but their D&D episode, they actually did 2 D&D episodes, one of the later seasons, and then those were a couple of my favorite episodes. Those were so fun. Almost blew up the sun. And your campaigns sound epic. That sounds a lot cooler than just like going to a cave. Yeah, the paintball ones were especially nice. Especially to an action movie buff like me. I love action movies, so that was just... Those were a lot of fun for me. Okay, I'm gonna work on it. Well, I hope you're talking to Lady Rouge, bro, because I can't help you with notes for D&D. Maybe you and me are gonna have to like sit down one day and just like figure it out and learn how to play Zach, just so you and I can have crazy campaigns.
Wendy here from Science Versus. Our show takes on the messy world of news and internet fights to find out what's real, what's not, and what's somewhere in between. This season, we're diving deep into the coronavirus to find out what this virus does once it's inside us.
So it's kind of taking advantage of a self-defense mechanism this cell has.
That's very rude.
Yeah, very rude.
See, that sounds like more fun than just like sticking to the rules, but also doing your own thing. That sounds more up my alley.
Mobile is now the fastest growing mobile provider in the nation, growing faster than Verizon and AT&T, and even growing faster than T-Mobile. It's easy to see why. Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and is the most reliable mobile service coast to coast. There are no
I gotta go. I gotta go brush up on my Gwent to give you notes on that, bro. I got really good for a while there, like in the actual Witcher 3 game. The Gwent game, they changed it, and I wasn't nearly as good. Like, bro, I need to go back to the in-game version. I was a lot better at that one. See, I gotta get on my Discord game. Like I downloaded Discord a few months ago because I needed it for a job, and that's how we did video conferencing. But my Discord game is weak, man, and I got on other groups. It's like, oh, we got this and that. We do this on Discord, and apparently I've finally gotten to the point I'm old, and learning new things is no longer my favorite thing in the world. As I go and get new like educational art courses for me to learn, and business courses. I say that, but I'm in the midst of trying to learn a bunch of new stuff currently. So, but yeah, I gotta go figure out this Discord thing because lots of people are doing stuff on it now. See, you're already like talking outside my level. I don't even know how to go find that stuff. Like I got as far as like, here's the camera, here's how to call. It was essentially Skype. Beyond that, I don't know how to use Discord. Like I said, I got to go learn that. Orange. Okay. That's what I'm saying, Zach, bro. Like, get those notes, learn it, and then you come teach me how to play, and we'll play. We can nerd out together, bro. Hey, Tony, you still there? He never answered me, Zach, so we'll Oh, well, Tony is asking what you were working on, Tony. Zach was asking what you were working on, Tony. Yes, you can play too. But we got to get Uncle Zach to to host it for us or teach us enough. Nice. See? Uncle Zach, go learn Discord for us. Blade Devil. Nice. Is it cool? I hope it's cool. It sounds cool. He's talking to you right now, bro. He ain't asleep. It's funny because he has done that. Lady Rouge, if you haven't caught on yet, Essence and U Studio are two of my best friends, and Nissa's actually my wife. She likes to. I asked her to come hang out, so I'm not by myself when nobody shows up in live stream. She's great like that. Unfortunately, Tony is down in Mexico, so we'll have to wait for him to come back to the States when all this is over, so we can all play Dungeons and Dragons for the first time, or the umpteenth time for my wife. I do tonight. I do tonight. I think they're all being extra nice to me today because the Kickstarter launched, so it's kind of a big deal. So I think they're being really nice to me today, and I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Admit what? I ain't admitted nothing. Don't you accuse me of nothing. I got witnesses. I didn't admit to nothing. I got it on tape. I don't know how to roll it back yet. I might have to end it to roll it back. See, now that I'm looking at it, I think these purple pod things are going to be a problem just because she's purple. I think they'll be distracting, so I should shift their colors. That's the downside with having it be all. Probably got to redo them whenever I figure out what color I'm gonna do. Kevin Nash knockoff? What? In some ways, that could almost be a compliment, but I don't think you mean it as a compliment. Okay, I think. If I do this. Don't encourage him. Once he thinks he's funny, he won't stop. You're playing WoW now. I thought you gave up on that after like the last downloadable content or something made you mad. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Oops. Oh. Now we can do it right. Actually have an effect there. You got jokes, huh? Yeah, comedian over there. He won't be asleep if he's actively playing, bro. That's probably why he's playing WoW, because if he just sat there with the stream on for Twitch, he'd probably go to sleep. Right now, I'm just using a big round airbrush. Nothing special at the moment. The big soft airbrush, just so you can see it. You know, nothing spectacular on this one. You didn't joke about WoW, dude. I did. Zach did. The Blizzard gods. I don't know if you saw, Tony, but Shannon's not working at Blizzard anymore. He's got a different job. but he sent over contacts to their comic folk. So I might try and reach out here in a little bit. Oh, he's been encouraged, and now he thinks he's Eddie Murphy and Delirious. Or you Raw, buddy. I don't know which. Whichever one, it's too much. You shouldn't be either. I just imagine you sitting there like, oh no, he did, instead of using your little PlayStation remote trying to type out a response. Ah! Tony, now's a good time to make fun of Zach. He can't reply. He's using a PlayStation controller. Make fun of him. I don't know what way means.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones
I just make fun of Zach because Zach's fun, and he's good with that, and that's how we converse, and you know this.
Standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit
You got
Granger.com
plenty of
for
friends.
resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
At LASIK Plus, we are honored to have safely treated hundreds of thousands
You've
of
got
patients across the
plenty of
country in the past 25 years. As our nation begins to heal and reopen together,
Definitely gonna
something
miss
that
having you
LASIK
come
Plus will be
visit, though.
reopening too. Call
Stupid COVID.
844-265-2020 to schedule your free LASIK consultation. As a thank you for your patience, if you are treated by the end of June, you'll receive $750 off Wavelight laser technology. Call 844-265-2020.
Station at the Vision Center to receive $750 off or $375 per ride. Cannot combine this with any other offers or discounts.
Spectrum Mobile is now the fastest growing mobile provider in the nation, growing faster than Verizon and AT&T, and even growing faster than T-Mobile. It's easy to see why. Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and is the most reliable mobile service coast to coast. There are no contracts, added taxes, or fees. Switch and you can
No,
save
bro.
up to 40%.
I always
That's why
blamed you,
Spectrum
remember?
Mobile is the fastest growing mobile provider. Click to learn more. Based on Q1 2020 subscriber data.
That's why I married her, Tony. She got it. She knew it was your fault straight away. It's probably going to be a repeat of like with Danica, man. She was all freaked out by a 7-foot tall Mexican coming at her. That was fun, man. I miss you, Tony. Taco. She might. That girl loves food. More flavor, the better. Tony, we found an Indian joint. We'll take you to. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. India oven, I think. Yeah, it was good. It was recommended by Bob and a couple others. It was pretty good. I liked it. Right on. Next time you're here, buddy, we'll go do it. Really? You're welcome to join us, brother. You don't usually come unless there's ribs involved. Unfortunately, Tony can't come yet, love, because, you know, the border's closed. I thought it was Tony's fault. Hey, I'm not knocking it, bro. I like ribs too. I like pork ribs more than beef ribs, though. The world is being played on the radio. It's not on my list. Twitch music. It's not great. Don't tell him that. He'll hold us to it. I'm sure he could get ribs before we go. Hi, you okay? You okay? Odd look. NOLA? I wasn't with you when we went to NOLA. I ain't been to NOLA. Actually, I don't know what these. The biggest challenge when doing a piece that's so colorful, and especially when it's wild colors that aren't really the normal that people are used to. The trick is trying to focus the eye. Ultimately, I want the eye to come here. So I'm hoping once I get the glow in and the knockouts, and I put in some more like atmospherics, that'll help channel the visual to where I want them to go. Oh my goodness. I don't see him denying it either. I can't say I blame him though. As long as they smell, as long as they're good ribs, I wouldn't mind having that. I think Alyssa would probably object to it, but some delicious smoked meats. I had gator at Dick's Last Resort, and that was actually amazing. I don't want to be cliche, but it was like tasted like chicken, but it was juicy. Fried gator. Yeah, he tried to cook ribs on the freaking car engine. It was ridiculous. They weren't good either. I don't know if you tried any. I tried them. They were done, but they were dry. Yeah, the Dick's. Yeah, that's what you mean. The Dick's Last Resort for the gator. The gator was good, right?
When John Quinney was 10 years old, he testified against his own father.
For a long time, the proudest thing I ever did was send my dad to jail, you know? That was it.
But now, 2 decades later, he's convinced his dad was innocent. His dad and hundreds of others, falsely accused in a panic that swept the country. From Gimlet, Conviction American Panic is out now. Tap now to listen for free on Spotify.
At LASIK Plus, we are honored to have safely treated hundreds of thousands of patients across the country in the past 25 years. As our nation begins to heal and reopen together, we are announcing that LASIK Plus is reopening too. Call 844-265-2020 to schedule your free LASIK consultation. As a thank you for your patience, if you are treated by the end of June, you'll receive $750 off Wavelight Laser Technology. Call 844-265-2020.
Must mention the station at the Vision Center to receive $750 off or $375 per ride. Cannot combine this with any other offers or discounts.
No matter how big or small your business is, making your own ad on Spotify Ad Studio is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Let us know what you want your ad to say and pick out your music. We'll voice and produce it at no extra cost. 2. Reach Spotify listeners based on their interests, demographics, music tastes, and more. 3. Set your budget, set your dates, and you're done. Try it today at adstudio.spotify.com or tap the banner to learn more.
Kind of shanghaied the conversation away from Rouge. Rouge, if you're still there and have questions, by all means, feel free to chime in. I can ignore it, or these clowns. My wife's not a clown, by the way. Zach's a clown. Gotcha. Thank you. I didn't fix the flats on the boots either. I did not do my job well on this piece. Yeah, they did. And what is it? I think IDW has the license now. IDW or Dark Horse. I just know I randomly got a box like 2 or 3 months ago that had reprints of some of those issues for Gears, which I thought that was pretty cool because I like getting comp copies. More stuff to sell at shows if we can ever go back to a convention. But yeah, the lady that wrote the comics was like one of their head writers, like for the games and the novel. So I mean, it wasn't like just random one-off comic book writer fill in. You know, it was all part of the lore. I did think that was pretty cool. I like doing Gears. That was fun. No worries. I was just saying we kind of stole the conversation away from you, so if you still have any questions or anything like that, feel free to jump in and ignore our goofiness. Or join the goofiness, whichever. The key is to make fun of Tony and to make fun of Zach. You'll fit right in. Exactly. It's Tony's fault. Okay, I'm going to start doing layers just because I think the only way to get this panel to look right is to see it done. Clipping masks so I can do color holds. Yeah, Tony, if you don't know clipping masks, that's a really great thing to learn, because we were doing knockouts, color holds the hard way for way too long. Oops. See, the initial design, these protrusions off her back were like these translucent wings. That's maybe the one thing I wish would have kept from the original thing, because I don't know what these are. I'm not quite sure what to do with them. I think they might look a little weird if they're translucent, but or color hold, but maybe not. I don't know. Knockouts are also called color holds, where basically, like, this is a knockout or a color hold where I turned the black line into a color, so it's no longer black, it's now red. I can show you right quick if you're looking. If you're ready. So, like, I don't know how you do your line art anymore, but you know, my line art when it's on layer, it's just the lines. It's transparent. You know, there's no white or anything. You know, I move them from channel, the select line art, and just fill with black on a layer, right? So when you make if you make a new layer, you see yeah. So the layer that I just made right above lines, you see that? This is my line art. That's my new layer. It's blank. If you right click it, just come here to where it says clipping mask. Create clipping mask. You see how it inset that layer? It's got that little triangle kind of indented. So now, whenever you do a color, and you fill on that layer, what am I doing? Oh yeah, now, oh, it would help if it was visible. So, whenever you fill on that layer, if it's set to clipping mask, it's only going to affect that black line art. So no more, like, you're still cutting it out, but it's not going to be a couple, you're not going to have to go save it as channels or whatever. You're not going to actually manipulate the line art. It's going to be a layer separated. And so it almost becomes a flat. So it's pretty ballin'. The last good thing that Kelsey taught me before he screwed me over. So, but yeah. Super useful. Very, very handy. Oops. So Austin, when Zach goes and learns this D&D stuff, you gonna come play with us? It's all on you, Zach. Don't be lame. Lady Rouge, do you have a like a character that you play with all the time in D&D, or do you make a new one every time? Or I'll just save that as a selection.
Every home has
Nice. So you don't have to worry about the character.
Maintained, fixed, or replaced. The Home Depot is here to help you get it done. You can easily find what you need on our app. Order it online with the push of a button and have it brought to your door with free.
I don't know if I would react well
We have
if
the
I had a
essentials
character that I
you need.
played for with
Online know-how
years and
you need.
years and
Do it yourself.
eventually did a campaign where
All possible.
it
The Home Depot.
it died.
Let doers get more
I don't know if
done.
I'd take that well. It'd probably make me not want to play
CEO
D&D
of Rocket
anymore.
Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to
I'll go with the
rocketmortgage.com.
pink. I had the pink established on the last page.
Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, and MLS number 3030.
Yeah, you're probably right. Because I also wouldn't want to have to sit there and make a new one every single time. I think that'd be time consuming. And I'm very much somebody that just wants to get in and start playing. I guess we could always take Abed's characters from Community. A night elf mohawk. What's a homebrew race fighter? Oh. What's the one that Vin Diesel like created for that movie and then it became like a real character? The Witch Hunter or something like that. Nice. Okay, so I think these orangey red tentacle things are taking away from my horn. Witch Hunter, yeah. I wanted to like Witch Hunter more than I did. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. When in doubt, give it a kind of a color gradient, and that makes it weird and cool. Tony, you still there? So this is the other really cool thing about having it on the clipping mask. It's a whole lot easier to do like gradients and stuff in them because you can just airbrush with it and it won't have to be on the line art. Super duper helpful. So yeah, clipping mask, bro. That's where it's at. Apparently it's real big into the like video game guys do it, so apparently us comic nerds have been doing it wrong for a while. I have no idea what you're talking about. Who's playing with Henry Cav? Oh yeah, Austin. So I've never heard back from Giphy when I wrote him asking about the gifts for the Twitch stream. Like troubleshoot that weird thing that's not working. They ignored me. Been a few weeks.
In front of the toilet, hands and knees, trying to breathe in between the dry heaves. My baby made me some coffee, afraid that if I drink some, it's probably coming right back out me. Couple of Advil, relax and chill, at a standstill with how bad I feel. I think I need to smell fresh air, so I stepped out the back door and fell down the stairs. The sunlight hit me dead in the eye, like it's mad that I gave half the day to last night. My bad sight made me trip on my ass right into that patch of grass, like that's life.
He
All
could
of a
be.
sudden, I realized something. The weather is amazing, even the birds are bumping. Stood up and took a look and a breath, and there's that bike that I forgot that I possessed. Never really seen exercise as friendly, but I think something's telling me to ride that 10-speed. The brakes are broken, that's alright. The tires got air and the chain seems tight. Hopped on, it felt the summertime. It reminds me of one of them Moosab lines, like sunshine, sunshine is fine. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Sunshine, sunshine is fine. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes
I'm dropping a lot of frames right now. I've dropped 5 frames. I don't know what that means. I know what it means, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it.
Busted out whenever someone's acting hard. Settle down, barbecue in the backyard. The kids get treats and old folks get classic cars. Every day that gets to pass is a success, and every woman looks better in a sundress. The sun shines an excuse to shoot hoops, get juice, show improve them moves and let loose. I hear voices, I see smiles to match them. Good times, and you can feel it in the fashion. Even though the heat cooks up the action, the streets still got butterflies, enough kids to catch them. Riding my bike around these lakes, man, feeling like I finally figured out my escape plan. Take it all in, the day started off all wrong, but somehow now that hangover is all gone. Ain't nothing like the sound of the leaves when the breeze penetrates these southside trees. Leaning against one, watching the vibe, forgetting all about the stress, thanking God I'm alive. It's so simple, I had to keep the song simple. And when I get home, I'm gonna open all the windows, feeling alright. Stopped at a stop sign, a car pulled up, bumping Fresh Prince's
I'm
Summertime.
curious what this is gonna do.
Feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Sunshine, sunshine, it's fine. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it.
I'm gonna copy and paste that so I have that for later. Thank you for the advice. I'll have to try that. Right now, I'm just trying to put a pin in this panel. Just want to get it. Man, tell Austin I want him to freaking I want to freaking draw some books. I don't know if that's worth doing. Most of what I do can be learned. Like, it's not insurmountable. I mean, it really is learnable. Some people will pick it up faster than others. I mean, there's no denying that, but all this stuff here is, you know, barring being colorblind, you know, or, you know, the equivalent of not actually being colorblind, but just having no taste. You know, that's entirely possible. But I mean, it's definitely a learnable skill. Just you know, I don't want people to learn it because it might put me out of more work. I'm both always excited and terrified when I see a artist I really like and that I've potentially worked with or have worked with, and then when they do their own coloring on their piece and it's good, it's terrifying. you know, I'm glad they do new things and try new things and excel. That's great, but for a practical sense of my job, you know, I really don't want them to do well. You know. I still don't think this is popping the way I want to,
Hello, this is Chris Ryan. I'm an editor at the
which
Ring of
probably is
My name is
just,
Chuck
it's
Klosterman.
gonna
I am a writer.
and this is Music Exists,
take a
a
little bit of
podcast
finagling on
where we
my
talk
end.
about
I
how we
think I have an
think about
idea to
music.
solve it,
Yeah,
but
it's not necessarily about music that's happening
fortunately,
right now.
it's
This
gonna
isn't a
involve a
podcast
little
about
bit of,
what you need to listen
or a
to
lot of
now. This
selecting.
has to do with how you think about music when it's not even playing.
Available exclusively on Spotify.
Hey Spotifyers, click or tap the banner to listen to New
Oh,
Music
so it's only
Friday.
the
Each week we choose the very best tracks from the latest releases, brought to you by our friends at the Epic Game Store. Get Civilization 6 free on PC until May 28th and keep it forever, only at epicgames.com.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give
This
you that
is not my
financial
favorite
boost you're
part.
looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Every home has things it needs, things that need to be maintained, fixed, or replaced. The Home Depot is here to help you get it done. You can easily find what you need on our app. Order it online with the push of a button and have it brought to your door with free delivery on over 1 million items. We have the essentials you need, the online know-how you may need to do it yourself, and low prices.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's actually working pretty good, but
Get more
I want to do probably a little bit more of that, but focus it specifically around the laser unicorn and the siren. So, and to do that, I don't want to have, I need to go over the lines, the line art, but I don't want it to go over the unicorn's lines or the siren's lines, because then it would look sloppy and bad and kind of kill the effect. So I unfortunately have to come in here and select all this area outside. Of course, that's going to mean I'm going to make a new channel because I never want to have to do it again. In these open spaces, I can just magic wand, and that's super helpful. But all these other elements I can't magic wand. Yeah, that's I would actually really like Austin to draw the book, and I would be super happy to color it. We've done a bit of that, and one brief story we collabed on. Those pages were probably some of my favorite that I've colored, and they are outside of my usual wheelhouse, which I think is also why I really liked them. Comics is hard. Yeah, I get it. I get it. And Fred is a one-man army, so I mean that dude can do everything. He don't need nobody. Old Zach. Keep drawing, bro. That's a good pinup. Draw some more pages. Do your man, what was it called? The piece I colored for you. The chick that I made all smoky and stuff. Dark Chronicles, or what was it? Do it up, or do your other one with the Mothers was Austin. Yours was the other one, though, the crazy fantasy horror one you were doing back when we were in the studio. Oh, I just had a silly idea. That might actually be pretty cool, though. That's good. Study's great. But I always found learning from the practical side. I've got a starburst I use. There we go. How I'm gonna try this. Because this is kind of a dream anyway. You know, I kind of have this like boom, like maybe just flash, or emerging out of like a portal or something like that. It definitely draws the eye, that's for sure. I bungled that so bad. Yikes. Yeah, I didn't think of that idea initially. Kind of changes that whole dynamics. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Lady Rouge. Appreciate you coming by. Hope you found us mildly entertaining at least. Have a good night. Whoa. That is... You're not going to miss much. This will probably be the end of the stream once I last few touches here. Sometimes you find something that you don't really plan for at the beginning and changes everything. That's alright. Save that.
Hands stay clean till the well goes dry. The clutch kinda sick, right? Aim for the sky and let a few fly. In due time, gonna get right. There's no loose ties. I'm not the new guy. I'm just one hand at 12 o'clock. The other one stirs your melon
That works,
pot.
I think.
If I had a third hand, I'd use it to turn up the music. Louder, louder. You like to complain, huh? You gonna hide till the rain comes? Feel my shine, I'm the same sun. No matter what I've done, I remember where I came from. The flood made the neighborhood messy, but you've got the keys to the Chevy. Have to drive until the afterlife, so we can steal the feast out of the beast's belly. We ain't gon' die today. Right now I'm wide awake. Tell her that the devil got a price to pay. Letter by letter, all I'm trying to say, that we ain't gon' die today.
Yeah, I think that'll work for now. I might touch it up with something later. But I think I'm going to call that for the stream. Go do a little checkup on the Kickstarter and messages and anything I need to do in that regard. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. It's a lot more fun when you do, for me. Hope it's fun for you. But check you cats later. Bye.